and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very exciting video because I'm going to be going over my 2020 reading journal. So I have tried bullet journaling quite a few times now and each time failed absolutely miserably. I've never been able to keep it up, but 2020 is going to be a new start. I'm going to try and do a reading bullet journal style thing and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can keep it up. I think where I've gone wrong in the past is I've tried to do too much and be too creative and decorative and just go a bit too crazy, so it's taken absolutely hours to do it, and each month I've never been able to find the time to set that time aside and just do it. For this time I've focused mainly on yearly spreads, so I spent a lot of time the last few days setting it up. This will hopefully be the longest time I'll have to spend on it, as whilst I enjoy spending time, I just do not have that time spare. But I really want to make it a focus to continue putting stuff in it, and the extra things that I'll put into it over the remainder of the year will be more like book reviews, TBRs and kind of general bookish thoughts instead of making massive organisational kind of things. Obviously as the year goes on I might find that I want more things, like if my YouTube kind of develops I'll kind of want to plan YouTube videos out potentially, that kind of thing, so there's definitely room for it to have more in it than what I've put in it so far. But I thought I'd just show you the kind of yearly spreads that I have set up for the next year, and yeah, I have just spent the last 4 or 5 hours doing it, so I hope you like it. There are some spreads that I like more than others. Most of the spreads that I have in here I have taken as inspiration from other people, and I'll link as many of the videos, Instagrams, that kind of thing down below for you to check out the original kind of source. But yeah, I like how it turned out overall. I've gone for a black and gold theme because I just seem to see a lot of black and gold and I really liked it, and I had a black pen which I have lost the lid of during this video, so I will have to go and find that, otherwise my mum will kill me because it's her pen, but I'll find it, I promise you, mum. So yeah, without further ado, I'll get into the video. I'm going to do a time lapse of me drawing it with me talking over what I'm doing as it is relevant. And yeah, I hope you like this. If there's any more kind of bookish themed spreads that you find really useful or you think helped last year or you've seen other people do and you're going to do this year, let me know because I do want to add more to it. These are just things that I found kind of when going through Pinterest, Instagram and YouTube, like I said. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so welcome to my bullet journal flip through. I forgot to mention in the intro, but I am using a papier notebook and I believe it's called Mother of Pearl. It's dotted, so I think that's kind of the best one to use for bullet journaling, as you can be a bit more creative. I actually use dotted journals to write my notes in as well for uni work, because I find it just makes your notes stand out clearer, but you can also keep them in a straight line if you're not very good at drawing in a straight line, which I'm sure you'll find out I am not throughout the course of this video. So I saw this 2020 front cover page in a Instagram post, I believe, and I'll have it linked below, and I just thought it was a really clean, neat way to kind of introduce the next year. The pen I'm using to fill it in is a brush tip pen. I can't remember the exact make for it, but I think it's quite a popular one that people use. I'll try and find out the name and link it in the description bar below. So yeah, I actually went over this a few more times after, just to make it a bit more clear. This next page I saw first on Amanda Rach Lee's YouTube channel, and she does amazing bullet journal videos. You should really check her out if you like bullet journaling at all. And I've used it already multiple times throughout this video. It's a grid guide to show how many squares you have to count to get halfway, a third, a fourth, and I'm sure you can add like fifth, sixth, however many sections you need. As you can see, when I did my penciling, I kind of didn't realise that the horizontal and vertical lines of the numbers are best when they cross over at the same point, so you don't get weird number lines. So I just fixed that when I redid it. I also drew too many lines in the pencil, so it was a bit of a struggle to figure out which was thirds and which was fourths. So yes, maybe keeping it to the just 2 lines is a bit easier. page I am doing a kind of overall yearly spread for the 2020 new releases coming out. I am terrible at keeping track of new releases, and in some ways it's good because then I can go into a bookstore and just be surprised by what's new on the shelf, but in other ways I quite like to pre-order kind of special editions, or it's quite good if you are looking out if you like to go to author events as well, because when new books are released, that tends to be when those kind of events happen. So if you see a new book coming out by your favourite author, check out like the Waterstones website if you live in the UK and see if they're kind of having an event near the time that they're releasing their book. So I thought this would just be a good, easy way to keep track of it. I'm not entirely happy with how the new releases font went out. I think I need to get some better pens because they kind of got a bit stuck sometimes and didn't really flow very well, and it just looks a bit dodgy. But you know what, we're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it because this is hand drawn, so who expects it to be perfect? I certainly don't, and it certainly won't, so this layout was inspired by, I think it was another Instagram post with the gold background of the big number and then the smaller font of the name of the month. I think it was okay, this spread. It's not my favourite spread, but it would do the job, and it's black and gold, so who could have asked for more? Not very good at doing calligraphy when it's really small, like the names of the month, so I tend to do this kind of strange twisty thing for smaller font just to make it look a little bit more fancy, but nothing too difficult. So the next page I have my kind of yearly tracker for the books that I'll be reading over the next year, and I've seen this quite a lot in different videos, a library card kind of thing idea, and I've used Webster's Private Library because that's my name, so it's my own library. And obviously done the little kind of property and where it's valid from, and I'll have the out will be the day I start the book and the in will be the day I finish it. For some reason tracking how long it takes me to read a book, if a book takes me a longer time or a really quick time, it kind of is a bit of an indicator of either how much I enjoyed the book or how much I prioritise reading. If loads of books are taking me a long time to read but I actually am enjoying them and rating them highly, then clearly reading is not a priority for me at the moment and I need to kind of switch that around. The font I tried to use was kind of a typewriter font, so it looked like an old library card. I don't know how successful that was, but there you go, I tried. As you can see, I drew most of the spreads in pencil before filming this video, so I had a kind of idea of what the layouts were going to be and what I was going to include in it before I started, which I always do think is a good thing because, as you're about to find out, I do make quite a few mistakes when I don't have the pencil layout. I just don't seem to be very good at drawing lines where they're meant to be drawn, so yeah, advise doing pencil at least until you kind of get used to it. Yeah, pencil first is the way to go for a beginner, I would say, because when I tried not to use the pencil, it didn't go very well. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you can see, but I think it's number, or will be number like 57 or something like that. There's like a random line in the middle where I did it wrong, but you know what, as I said before, it's all hand done. It adds to the uniqueness of my journal and everything like that. We embrace the mistakes. So this spread is the number of books I've read over the year. It is extremely optimistic, as I've only read 18 books as of now, and it is 2 days to go till the new year. So 72 books I don't think I'll reach, but you know what? I wanted to fill up the page, and it was the easiest to do that. So this page I kept really simple, and you can see my dodgy calligraphy now, where it's all really shaky on the thin lines, but you know, it makes it look like old-fashioned script is what I'm telling myself. There I'll just put any quotes that I find of books that I like, and then when that page gets filled up, I'll just add a second page wherever I am in the journal. And this next one, I'm using a ruler for the first time. I don't really draw my lines with rulers, one, because it takes a lot longer, and two, I quite like the kind of hand-drawn line look. But this one is a year in pixels, which I've seen a lot of bullet journals do, but they do it for emotions, so they colour in the day for what their main emotion was that day, if it was like angry, sad, happy, that kind of thing. But this one I saw in a video for kind of reading trackers, and you do it instead to track your pages read of each day. So I'm aiming to get every day filled in with something, even if it's just like my 0 to 50 page kind of marker. I was going to try and draw in the box maybe the specific page, but I just like how it looks so neat when it's finished, and with all the straight lines and the like symmetrical squares, that I think drawing in it would kind of ruin it. So I'm not going to do that. I might add another page later on that tracks how many pages I read each day, but I'm not certain yet. It seems a bit, I don't want to get too hung up on how many pages I've read, because I think a lot of booktubing and reading tracking things are hyped up on numbers, which you can see most of the spreads are on like numbers of how many pages you've read, how many books you've read, that kind of thing. Whereas I'd rather focus on reading good books that I enjoy, spread over a longer period of time, so I don't get quite so stressed about not reading as much, just with uni and things like that building up. Here at the bottom you can see me trying to figure out what to stop at, and even though I canned it all out, I still made a mistake, because February has 29 days, not 30. So clearly I'm not very good at maths, but there we go. Another mistake to add to the uniqueness. I don't think anyone noticed, anyway, just when it fills in, but no one will care.
It's a strange world we live in, but all we want is loving, searching for things unspoken.
There are quite a lot of empty spaces around the spreads that I've done in quite a few ones of the ones on the next page as well. So I don't know whether to like fill them in with like a doodle or like a quote or something like that. So let me know if you have any ideas for that. Again, 251 pages in one day. Optimistic, but you'll never know. Maybe I'll have one day where I just read the entire day, as I'm not a very fast reader. So this page I took from a fellow booktuber, and it turned out to be one of my favourite pages. It is pretty much identically copied, there's nothing much different about it. I think I just used a gold pen instead of a white pen, but I really like how it works, so definitely check out her channel and her bullet journal spread. And this is just a kind of yearly overview of my favourite book and how many books I've read each month. And I just like how simplistic it is and really clear to see how many books I read and which was my favourite book, because I'm not very good at kind of picking a favourite book. So this will be really cool to fill in, I think, and just nice to look back on in future years, which is kind of what I'm doing this journal for, so that when I look back in a few years' time I can remember the books that I've read, because I found some of my old bullet journals from when I was like 16, and there's books in there that I do not remember ever wanting to read or reading, so you never know, I might forget everything that I've ever done and look back at this and remember a lot. So this spread is very simplistic, and I just wanted something quick and easy to do, so I just stuck this bit of card on that I'd drawn on and drew some straight lines down the middle for my physical TBR. If you watched my Girls of Paper and Fire vlog, you'll know that I didn't realise I'd bought that until I came home a few months later and saw it was sitting on my shelf, so I clearly can't track the books that I've already bought. And that's happened quite a few times. I've almost bought something I already had. So I think it's time that I had a physical TBR, and that will also encourage me to kind of cross them out, as crossing things out is very satisfying if you're one of those people that like to do that. I'm sure there's many of us out there, but yeah. So this one is a YouTube ideas page and a YouTube stats page. So a bit optimistic, the stats page. I don't know how much use that will get since I am just a new baby channel. But you know what, optimism gets us many places in life, so there we go. The YouTube ideas page I thought was just really simple, and I'll just write down any ideas I have, and I think I might do like 3 boxes after each idea, so I'll tick them off when I've filmed it, uploaded it, edited it, and not in that order because that doesn't make sense. But there you go. Spot the mistake. So my stats page I kept very simplistic because